Test video for students, drawing a plan based off of a sketch. Here is the plan, a couple little dimensions here, and we're just going to go through. I know it's a little light, but we're going to try and kind of draw a plan here using some drafting techniques. Basically, you guys should be able to all do this. I have my space set up here, actually at my kitchen island. Everything's taped down. 11 and a half sheet, 11 by 17 sheet of paper underneath, and the layer of trace on top, taped over, just so you have a nice clean workspace to work on. I've already taken the liberty of putting down the dimensions, or at least the bounding box where I'm going to be working, and the perimeter of said plan here. So I have approximately 46 by 30 feet. And I'm going to be drawing this at 1/4 inch scale. And to cut down on the video, I'll start drawing a little bit of it, then I'll stop, take a photograph, start the next process, video, and then stop again, take a photo, and just keep building little episodes, if you will. So first thing to do when you have your dimensions, as I did here, but you can barely see because, again, construction line's very light. So on my end, they actually stick out a little light or a little darker than I hoped to start with. So I have 46 feet wide here, and I have 30 feet, here. And if you see my cat throughout the video, don't mind it. He likes to walk around. All right. So based on the plan, let's take a look again. We seem to have a little entry corridor along here. Let's say bedroom 1 and 2. Let's say a bathroom, and this could be a closet. We'll kind of split that down the middle. On this side here, we have the kind of the family room, kitchen area. So we'll add a little window floor to ceiling here. We'll say one of these is a powder room, one is a pantry closet. We'll say this is the kitchen island, and then we get into the seating. We'll say that this is a glazed condition along this wall, and you notice this line, wall aligned here, kind of as an accent piece in the plan. So if you imagine if we did sections or elevations of this, actually you can kind of see, that would kind of translate to the exterior a bit, and maybe bring some definition to the space and some of the zones. So let's get started here. So again, we're working at 1/4 scale, and I have my plan sketch right in front of me. It's kind of off screen, but I'm going to follow what I have there. So we're going to say some of these larger structural members, like the wall here, let's say these 3 walls here are going to be a heavier member, let's say maybe 2 feet. They'll help to define maybe the mass and scale of the structure. So I'm working at 1/4 scale. So I'm going to start where my edge is down here. Obviously load some lead up here. And I have multiple pens, different line thicknesses and weights. So we got our one line up there. Now typically if we have the T-square, we'd line it up against the edge and bring our triangle and essentially have it glide along that edge. So we only would have to mark that line once. I don't have a T-square here, so what I actually have to do is measure on both ends and then connect the dots. So that's pretty simple to follow along. Look back at my dimensions here. I gave the width of this space about 20 feet. So I'll mark again from the outside corner, 20 feet. Now, also, I'll just mark the line for the 2 feet thickness of that wall anyway, while I'm there. And I'll do the same at the bottom. Just remember to keep flipping your numbers around, making sure everything works out, math-wise. The nice thing about this tool here is it's actually on a roller, so I can keep parallel lines pretty straightforward. I don't necessarily trust them 100%, so I always just do the measurement and make the lines anyway. Again, you guys might not see these lines so much right now, but as we proceed through the episodes, things will start to become clearer about the definitions of walls, things like that. I'm making these things 2 feet walls just because I'm having a little bit of design integrity or freedom, but you need to consider with your projects the thickness of some of these conditions and not just make things arbitrary like I am doing right now. Looking back at our plan, I have about 10 feet of this hallway condition or entry condition. So what I'm going to do is from the inside line here, I'm going to go over 10 feet, and then I'm going to mark over another 2 feet for the thickness of that wall. Then do the same thing at the top. Down, down. If you guys notice, I kind of spin the pencil, excuse me. It keeps the lead very sharp like a cone at the top, so you don't have to try to kind of manipulate and scratch to find a good edge. So if you kind of twist it a little bit as you pull, you kind of keep a nice sharp line. Okay, so now we have our kitchen area up here, our living room area over here, our entry corridor, and the development of these 2 bedroom spaces. So now I'm going to develop the bedroom spaces a bit more. Oops. And I'm going to only use a 1 foot thick wall for this condition, as it probably won't be necessary to make it any larger. So as long as you're consistent in measuring from the same area, keeping the same distance, you can do this connect the dots because if you don't have the necessary drafting tools. And see, I'm not going actually to stopping at the corner. I'm letting it go over. That's the point of these construction lines. They're really supposed to just guide and provide the outline for what we're looking for. And to be honest, they kind of look nice and sharp once you get everything working. Okay, so now we developed the exterior wall of here. Now we're going to kind of subdivide this space up a little bit. Talk about a bathroom, and then this essentially would be a back-to-back closet that you can enter from either side. Pretty much you guys all have that in your house. So we'll go from find our center line, and bathrooms are typically 5 feet deep, 8 feet wide, but we're just gonna touch the numbers a little bit. Residential bathrooms, excuse me. Commercials, obviously you have to deal with HVAC or handicap stuff, so we're not gonna go into that, but half of, say, so let's just keep it to 8. We'll do 4 feet mark from the center line, and then we'll go to 8 feet on the other line. That'll be our interior wall conditions of that bathroom. And then we're only going to make these 6-inch walls. So we do at quarter scale, that's an 1/8 inch. We will do the same thing on the other side. This is a very tedious process, I know, but it's actually a lot of fun when you get ripping and roaring on it. And you guys should start to really love and appreciate the delicate craft that goes into these things, and the focus, the concentration, and to be honest, I don't record myself doing these things, so if I make some stupid little errors, I apologize, excuse me. And again, that was a stupid mistake there. So now we got our two interior wall conditions. Again, you can't really see, apologies. Um, so I'm gonna fill out the rest of it and then take a photo of it and we'll start the next episode of hard lining.